Wow, you know what's hot? Well, yeah, the Treasure Valley in July. Ain't no doubt about that. But also the conversations that we've been having around the office. I think you're going to check out what we had to talk about today. Next, come along. Well, Dave Edwards, Treasure Valley Dave here. Got my head straight and got inside where it's a little bit cooler, right? Well, today we've been having discussions around the office, talking about our experiences with real estate agents before we became real estate agents and before we got into the real estate business. And there's kind of interesting things that came out from that. I think it's really made us better agents from learning from our previous experiences. And we're going to get into the details, but first I want to let you know that if you're thinking that Idaho might be the place that you want to check out, not saying it is because it's not for everybody, but if it's someplace that might interest you, let us know. We've all made that relocation journey. And we're all right here to answer your questions, give you our opinions. We're going to say it's too hot? No, because I know it's a whole lot hotter in other places. So, wow, but it is a pretty warm one out there today. I think it's almost 100. Anyway, like this video, share, subscribe. That means so much. Like I say, give us a call, text, email. And what we're going to do now is dip in on some of these conversations we've had today that all of us here on the Treasure Valley Dave team have gone through. And I think you're going to get something pretty exciting out of it. So come along, let's go check it out.
Hey, I got a question for you.
I was working. Yeah, I wasn't always a real estate agent. And before I was, we still bought a house. So our agent, he was the nicest guy. And we so enjoyed looking at all 80 houses with him. It was really nice. It was a great experience. But, you know, looking back, it's like, I think we wasted a lot of his time. And I feel really bad. If someone would have pulled me aside and said, you know, this guy's got a family to feed, and you just, 80 houses? Are you kidding me? Looking back, I feel really bad about it. So what I learned from that was that now as an agent, I want to ask you questions ahead of time. And because when we were with Brad, bless his heart, he never drilled down to find out what our real needs were. And that's not anything on him as much as we're just having a great time. But what I find, I respect your time and I want to get those questions answered. And we're not going to get every question answered, but if we can get enough of them answered to make our search 10 houses instead of 80 houses, I mean, we've made such progress right there. The process, I mean, working with Brad back in the old days, it really kind of inspired me in one way to do what I do now, and that would be that he had fun doing what he did. He was professional, he was fun to be with, and he always put us at ease. So I like to think that I'm bringing those kind of things with me. I like to learn from all my experiences to make my job helping you better, and the good ones and the bad ones. So what do you think?
I've been working at a real estate agent company for quite some time, and it's been interesting seeing things from this perspective with my past experience with other real estate agent teams. We found ourselves in Idaho, and we just loved the Boise area. And we would take Costco trips on the weekends up to Boise, and we decided we wanted to live there. And so, what did we do? We decided to find a real estate agent.
So, of course, I'm a licensed real estate agent and realtor here in the Treasure Valley, but before I had to use a real estate agent to buy my own properties, which I bought a traditional single-family home, so just a house for me and my family, and also a duplex. So my experience was a little bit more broad than maybe some other people would have, but you know, it could have been better.
Before I was an agent, I had to sell my house in California and had to purchase a house here. Moving from one state to another state is very scary. We don't know anybody here in Idaho, and you have to find an agent. How do you find an agent? At that point, I wasn't that smart that YouTube is a great resource to do that. So I found my agent by selecting somebody who lives in that area that I kind of targeted.
And let's just say it wasn't the best experience. Here's why. Throughout that process, I was called names, which is ironic given that the real estate agent was there to serve me. but I was an inconvenience to them. And it was simply because I was asking questions that I myself didn't understand.
I felt like communication was one of those things where I thought we didn't, for example, I didn't know my real estate agent was out of town for a long weekend one time, and we were ready to go and see a house, and then she wasn't texting or calling us back. And I was like, that's not ideal. Especially when you're trying to get into a house and not take too much time to actually, wait and be like, okay, well, I can see it on Tuesday and it's Friday afternoon. That's just not going to help. It's not going to help you get the home you're wanting. And so finally, she got reception and told us, oh yeah, I'm in McCall. And I was like, all right. We actually found a way to see the house not using a real estate agent at all. We went to one of those third parties where it's like, I don't even know if I was supposed to do that at the time. And I was like, I got to see this house. So we actually got in touch with a Redfin agent. We got in touch with somebody else who was able to open the house for us. And we just met him there. And we told him when we showed up, like, hey, we're already working with an agent, but they're out of town. What do we do? And they're like, well, you're already here. Let's take a look at it. So it was kind of one of those situations where it's like, as a consumer, as a client, as somebody who's hunting for a house, you got to be available. You got to have that relationship enough to say, hey, by the way, I'm going to be out of town, but so-and-so is going to take care of you. Or here's the plan if you find something. I mean, I was pretty disappointed with that. So that was rough.
I liked how he knew a lot of things about the area. I felt like he gives me a very honest opinion on, and with that said, when I met with Dave, we were both on the same page. He is very honest, and he said, be honest in what you feel or how you feel about areas or whatever else it is. And my German part of me is anyway very honest, sometimes too honest maybe.
And so now in my current position, what I love about it is I'm able to help people that are like me, searching for homes in the past. They may not understand the process. They may not understand what exactly is going on. And so that's what I love about the content that I'm able to make now, is that the content can help answer those questions that I had, and I was called butthurt for asking. I was actually interested in exploring areas outside of Boise, Nampa, Caldwell, but I was also told that any further out, it was just too far for them to drive, and they weren't willing to take me out there to explore other areas. And so since then, I've been to Fruitland and I've been to Payette, and I actually really love those small towns, even though they're a little further out. And I just wish that I had that opportunity to explore those areas before with a real estate agent. So now, can I say the Treasure Valley Dave team or just ours? So one of the things that I love about the Treasure Valley Dave team and being a part of it is that they're willing to go the extra mile, literally. They're willing to take you out to Fruitland, to Payette, to Marsing, to Emmett, within the Treasure Valley, and those cities are within the Treasure Valley, even though they're a little further out, they're willing to take you there. And driving that part of that conversation and that experience for our clients has been something that I've really enjoyed being a part of. So I've been fortunate enough to work with other real estate agents that didn't call me butthurt because I wasn't sure about a decision. And this particular one showed up to my house with a tool belt on, and he actually fixed all of the repairs that were needed to be done at my house. And what I love about the Treasure Valley Dave team is I know that they're willing to make those kinds of experiences for their clients as well. I haven't heard anything that they're really not willing to go out there to do or to point you in the right direction to find someone that is willing to do it. So during my first conversation with my very first real estate agent, I was encouraged to come in and sign a contract with them. So after doing a Google search, I found a real estate agent that was based in Boise. It was just the closest to the Air Force Base, and so that is the agent that I went with. I gave them a call, and during that initial call, they encouraged me to set up an appointment to come in and sign a contract with them, sealing the deal that I was going to be working with them, and if I didn't, and I bought a house with somebody else, I would owe them $300. And what I love about the Treasure Valley Dave team is that working here, I can see that it's not set up that way. Dave and everybody else on the team, they're so willing to just engage with you and have a conversation, talk about the things that you need as a client, the things that you're looking for, without necessarily tying you down and having you sign a contract in order to keep you working with them. Even though it was kind of rough working with that real estate agent, I'm actually glad that I went through that experience, because now that I know what a bad agent is, I know what a good agent is. And without a doubt, I will not work with anybody outside of the Treasure Valley Dave team just because of who they are as agents and how they treat their clients.
Now, having had that experience, and now that I'm an agent, my approach is such that I want to be able to hand somebody off on our team where it's like, hey, I'm going to be gone for the 4th of July like I was this year. So if somebody's got a question, here's who you're going to talk with. This is what you can do. Because timeliness, being available, is such a big part of getting into a house or having your questions answered. So now working with Dave and the team, it's like, hey Dave, somebody was asking me this question, can you look into it? Or somebody's coming into town, can you take them out to show a house? Or Maureen, what do you know about this? Well, that's one of the great things about being an agent now on the team that I'm with, so we can actually help people in a unique way. And I'd say that's valuable to you as a client or a house hunter, because you can get questions answered from multiple perspectives, not just one agent, but someone else has had a different experience too. So maybe their perspective is going to be more helpful for you. You get information more quickly or more easily. I mean, it's just helpful. When you can get a question answered, or if you can go in and see a house, or have one of us run out and do a quick video for you, it's incredibly important to move things forward instead of just wait around and be like, well, guess I'll get information somehow. It doesn't work for anybody.
Being an agent, I want to make sure that all our clients get the real experience of the Treasure Valley. So when we tour around, which can take anywhere from 4 hours to 8 hours, and we discover the area together, we learn about each other, we sit together in one car and chat, and we see the parts that are not as pretty. It's maybe along the train tracks. I'm not saying that it's a scary area or a ghetto area. I'm just saying it's not the pretty area. What I really liked about our agent was that he toured us around, showed us the areas, and we felt like home. We felt very good about the area. And he was responsive. We were not quite ready yet to buy, but he still took the time. And I think that is the part I learned, and what we all share. It doesn't matter in how far you are in your process. If you're moving in the next 3 months or in the next 3 years, it doesn't matter, because you need to figure out if Idaho or if the Treasure Valley is the right spot for you. We heard from another client who had a personal referral to an agent here in the Treasure Valley, and the first question he was asked was, okay, how far in the process are you? Are you ready? Are you pre-approved? And are you ready to buy a house now? And I was like, nah, I need to check out the area. I still need to work on my job. And he said, okay, call me when this is all done, and then I show you houses. And I thought, that is crazy. This is not how you should do business. This is not how you make friends, how you feel somebody or make somebody comfortable. So these are all parts that I think where the Treasure Valley team stands out. So another example that happened to one of our clients, what we do different was we have somebody who needs to sell a house in California, and he needs some help. He needs help to get the house ready, cleaner, declutter, handyman, just to get everything nice to put the house on the market. And who do you go to if you don't have those people? You ask your agent, right? That's the way I would do it. And the agent had no network. There was no recommendations. So for us here at the Treasure Valley team, if you need somebody for the AC, if you need a gardener, a roofer, a plumber, electricians, whatever you need, we always have our resources. And we have them because we experience with them and we share the same philosophy, how to take care of our clients. And that's an important part. So the most exciting part about being on the Treasure Valley Dave team is that we really, really enjoy what we are doing. We love meeting new people. We love giving them the opportunity to experience what we have experienced. And we become friends. And I think, gosh, I wish you guys, everybody who's watching it and who has experienced us, would put it in the comments when we do our tours. I talk a lot about my family. So it's not we just get to meet you, you get to meet us as well, and we become friends. Our kids play together, or we have barbecues together. We do a client appreciation party to make sure that all our clients get together and share their experience and become friends. And I think that is the best part. There's many, many times where somebody called, we get to meet that person and we know exactly, oh, you know what? We should hook up this person with that person because they share the same interest. And somehow we get it managed. And I just wish that for everybody, and the Treasure Valley team will help you with it. We have a big network and we are gonna be friends, neighbors, maybe family. You know what? I'm really serious about that. I wish you guys would put something in the comment, whoever experienced what were you doing, put something in the comments, let us know what we did or how we did it, how you liked it. And don't forget to join our Facebook group. That's where you get the whole experience. It's Idahoans at Heart.
Wow, that was certainly some entertaining, educational views from the people here at the office, am I right? So we've all got some experiences and things that we've learned over the years working with other agents, being a client just like you are and going through that process. It was pretty fun. I think it's made us all better people for it. So when it comes time for you to find out if Idaho is the place for you, do the same that we wish we could have done. Give us a call, text, email. We'd be glad to answer your questions. See if Idaho might really be the place for you. It might not. Who knows? You're not going to know till you give us a call. So do that. Also with this video, please subscribe. That means so much. Like, share it with somebody else that needs to see this. And well, I think for today, that's about it. And as always, it's Treasure Valley Dave, looking forward to helping you get home.